21. Black actors who tragically died too young. What if the brightest stars in Hollywood never got the chance to fulfill their destiny? Imagine legends like Chadwick Boseman, Aaliyah, and Tupac icons who shaped culture being gone before reaching their full potential. These were actors and performers who inspired millions, yet their lives ended in ways that still shock the world today. From tragic accidents to hidden illnesses, their stories remind us how quickly greatness can be taken away. Stay with us until the end, as we honor 21 Black actors who died far too young. And don't forget, subscribe to Legends of Black Excellence, so you never miss a story that matters. Chadwick Boseman. Chadwick Boseman's story is one of triumph, secrecy, and heartbreaking loss. Born in Anderson, South Carolina in 1976, he pursued acting with a clear vision to portray figures who shaped history and culture. Before the world knew him as King T'Challa in Marvel's Black Panther, he gave life to real heroes: Jackie Robinson in 42, James Brown in Get On Up, and Thurgood Marshall in Marshall. Each role carried depth, dignity, and a message of empowerment reflecting his belief that film could transform how Black stories were told on screen. What shocked the world was learning only after his passing in 2020 that he had been silently battling stage 3 colon cancer since 2016. During those years, he endured surgeries and rounds of chemotherapy, yet he kept filming physically demanding roles, never once disclosing his illness publicly. He even found time to visit sick children in hospitals, offering encouragement while privately enduring his own pain. His perseverance was so extraordinary that even his co-stars admitted they never suspected the truth. Can you imagine the level of strength it takes to inspire the world while suffering in silence? When he died at just 43, it felt as though time stopped. Vigils were held, children mourned the loss of their superhero, and tributes poured in from fellow actors, athletes, and world leaders. The phrase "Wakanda Forever" transformed into more than a movie slogan. It became a symbol of resilience, pride, and unity. Chadwick's passing highlighted not only the importance of his roles, but also the urgency of conversations about health, especially the rising cases of colon cancer among younger adults. Though gone too soon, Boseman's legacy is immortal. He showed us that purpose is greater than pain, and that true greatness doesn't fade with death. It echoes through every life it touched. Aaliyah Dana Houghton, affectionately known as the Princess of R&B, was more than a rising star. She was a cultural force who left an everlasting imprint. Born in Brooklyn in 1979 and raised in Detroit, she signed her first record deal as a teenager and quickly captivated audiences with her smooth vocals, effortless style, and magnetic presence. Her sophomore album, One in a Million, 1996, produced by Timbaland and Missy Elliott, sold over 8 million copies worldwide, ushering in a new sound for R&B. By the time she released Try Again in 2000, which became the first song to top the Billboard Hot 100 solely from airplay, she had already established herself as a trendsetter. But Aaliyah wasn't content with just dominating music. She was moving into film. She starred opposite Jet Li in Romeo Must Die 2000 and had just wrapped filming Queen of the Damned 2001, proving she had the charisma to cross over into Hollywood. Fans and critics alike believed she was on the brink of becoming an international superstar. What makes her story especially heartbreaking is how quickly everything changed. In August 2001, after finishing a video shoot for Rock the Boat in the Bahamas, her small charter plane crashed on takeoff. Aaliyah was killed instantly at only 22 years old. What dreams, songs, and roles do you think the world missed out on because of her untimely death? Even decades later, her influence can still be felt. Artists like Beyoncé, Rihanna, and Normani cite her as inspiration, and her fashion sense continues to inspire younger generations. Though her life was short, Aaliyah's legacy proves that true artistry transcends time. She wasn't just a performer, she was a movement. Lamont Bentley. Lamont Bentley's journey was the classic story of raw talent breaking through. Born in Milwaukee in 1973, he moved to Los Angeles to pursue acting and gradually earned recognition with his natural charm and relatability. Audiences best remember him as Hakeem Campbell on Moesha, where his playful banter and genuine chemistry with Brandy made him a fan favorite. He later reprised the role on The Parkers, cementing his status as one of the most beloved faces in 1990s black sitcom culture. But Lamont wasn't content with just television. He appeared in films like Tales from the Hood, 1995, and indie projects while also working on his rap career under the name C Smooth. Tragically, his rising trajectory was cut short in January 2005. After leaving a screening in Los Angeles, Lamont lost control of his car while driving on the 101 freeway. The vehicle rolled down an embankment and into traffic, and he was ejected during the crash. He died instantly at just 31 years old. It was a sudden, devastating end for a man whose best years seemed ahead of him. Have you ever noticed how actors like Lamont become part of your own memories, almost like a friend you grew up with? Colleagues described him as humble, peaceful, and deeply dedicated to his craft. Fans still recall his wide smile and the authenticity he brought to every role. Though gone far too young, Lamont Bentley's legacy lives on in reruns, in the laughter he inspired, and in the example he set for aspiring actors who dream of making it big against all odds. Merlin Santana. Merlin Santana was one of those rare talents who seemed destined for greatness. Born in New York City in 1976 to Dominican parents, he started modeling as a child before moving into acting. By age 15, he was appearing on The Cosby Show as Stanley Rudy Huxtable's boyfriend, a role that gave him national visibility. Audiences loved his charm, quick wit, and undeniable screen presence. In the late 1990s, he found his breakout as Romeo Santana on The Steve Harvey Show, where his smooth-talking humor made him unforgettable. He also appeared in Moesha All That and films like The Rusty Bucket Kids. Every project showed that he was more than just a teen star. He had the versatility to carry bigger, more serious roles. Tragically, in November 2002, Merlin's promising future was stolen in an instant. After leaving a club in Los Angeles, he was sitting in a car when a man opened fire, striking him in the head. He was only 26 years old. Investigations later revealed the shooter acted on false accusations, making Merlin's death senseless and avoidable. How do you think Hollywood would have looked today if Merlin had lived long enough to fully showcase his range? Friends and colleagues remembered him as hardworking professional and humble, a young man who avoided scandals and focused on his craft. His murder shocked the entertainment industry, not only because of his youth, but also because of the sheer waste of talent. While his life was cut short, Merlin Santana remains a symbol of brilliance gone too soon, a reminder of how fragile stardom can be. Antoine Ashley. Antoine Ashley. Better known by his stage name, Sahara Davenport was a performer who radiated elegance and confidence. Born in Dallas, Texas in 1984, he was classically trained in dance and earned a degree from Southern Methodist University before stepping onto the national stage. Sahara's big break came on Season 2 of RuPaul's Drag Race 2010, where his grace style and unforgettable backflip in high heels during a lip-sync battle made him stand out. Unlike some competitors who thrived on drama, Sahara was known for his kindness, sophistication, and polished artistry. Beyond drag, Antoine built a multifaceted career. He danced professionally, acted in television shows, and even released music. His passion for the arts was undeniable, and he carried himself with a dignity that inspired many in the LGBTQ+ community to embrace their authenticity. Then, in October 2012, tragedy struck. Sahara died suddenly of heart failure at just 27 years old. The news devastated fans and fellow performers alike, as no one expected someone so young and vibrant to be gone. Can you imagine the stages he would have conquered if he had lived to fulfill his artistic dreams? Tributes poured in, including from RuPaul himself, who called Sahara a beautiful angel. Fans celebrated not only his talent, but also the warmth and acceptance he brought to every interaction. Today, Sahara Davenport is remembered not simply as a drag queen, but as a groundbreaking artist who helped redefine beauty, strength, and grace in performance. His brief but powerful legacy continues to inspire confidence and self-love in countless lives. Lee Thompson Young. Lee Thompson. Young was the kind of actor who seemed to embody every role with sincerity and ease. Born in Columbia, South Carolina in 1984, he rose to fame as the star of Disney Channel's The Famous Jet Jackson. The show, which ran from 1998 to 2001, became iconic for its positive portrayal of a young black hero balancing celebrity life with small-town reality. Lee's charisma, cool demeanor, and natural acting ability made him relatable to millions of kids who grew up in the late 90s. But he wasn't just a children's star. He proved his range with roles in Friday Night Lights' Smallville and Rizzoli and Isles, where he played Detective Barry Frost. Outside of acting, Lee was an academic achiever, graduating with honors from the University of Southern California. Friends and colleagues described him as quiet, intelligent, and deeply thoughtful. Yet beneath the calm exterior, Lee struggled with bipolar disorder, something he rarely spoke about publicly. In August 2013, when he didn't show up on set, production staff went to check on him. Tragically, he was found to have taken his own life at just 29 years old. How many more powerful performances could he have given had he received the support and understanding he needed? His death was a sobering reminder of the hidden battles so many face in silence. Fans and co-stars mourned deeply, remembering him as not only a gifted actor, but also a kind soul who inspired with his professionalism and humility. Lee Thompson Young's legacy lives on in the generation of viewers who saw him as a hero on screen and in the ongoing conversations about mental health awareness in Hollywood. Tupac Shakur. Few names in music and film resonate as powerfully as Tupac Amaru Shakur. Born in New York City in 1971 and raised amid political activism, Tupac quickly became a voice for the voiceless. Known worldwide for his raw, poetic rap, he was equally compelling on screen. His acting credits included Juice 1992, where his intense portrayal of Bishop stunned audiences, Poetic Justice 1993 alongside Janet Jackson, and Above the Rim 1994, showcasing his versatility beyond music. He had the rare ability to channel rage, vulnerability, and hope in a single performance, making him a true multidimensional artist. But Tupac's life was as turbulent as it was brilliant. He navigated legal troubles, feuds, and a constant spotlight that magnified every misstep. Still, he used his platform to speak about inequality, racism, and life in America's inner cities. On September 7, 1996, his story came to a violent end when he was shot multiple times in a drive-by shooting in Las Vegas after attending a Mike Tyson fight. He died 6 days later, only 25 years old. Do you think Tupac would have become one of Hollywood's greatest actors if his life hadn't been cut short? His death devastated the music and film industries, leaving fans to grapple with the loss of a man who seemed larger than life. Yet Tupac's influence has only grown since his passing. Murals, documentaries, and even posthumous albums continue to cement his status as a cultural icon. Whether through his lyrics or his acting, Tupac Shakur remains an eternal symbol of resistance, artistry, and truth. Nipsey Hussle. Ermias Joseph Asghedom, better known as Nipsey Hussle, was more than an entertainer. He was a visionary. Born in Los Angeles in 1985, he grew up in Crenshaw, an area he would later dedicate his life to uplifting. While the world first knew him as a rapper, Nipsey's impact stretched far beyond music. He preached economic independence, encouraging young people to own their businesses, their art, and their future. His Grammy-nominated album Victory Lap 2018 was proof of his lyrical brilliance and commitment to authenticity. But what set him apart was his decision to remain in his community, investing in local businesses, opening a clothing store called The Marathon, and hiring those who often couldn't find work elsewhere. Nipsey also began to cross into acting, taking roles in small projects and hinting at a future Hollywood career that might have been just as successful as his music. Tragically, on March 31, 2019, that future was stolen. While standing outside his store, Nipsey was shot multiple times in broad daylight. He died at just 33 years old. His death sent shockwaves across the globe. Thousands filled the Staples Center for his funeral, and tributes poured in from celebrities, athletes, and politicians alike. Do you believe Nipsey's message of ownership and community empowerment will continue to inspire future generations? Nipsey's legacy is undeniable. He was not just a rapper, but a builder, a leader, and a man who turned his struggles into a blueprint for success. His words, "The marathon continues," have since become a rallying cry, reminding us that while his life was cut short, his mission endures. Moses J. Mosley. Moses J. Mosley was one of those actors who, even without words, left a lasting impression. Born in Aiken, South Carolina in 1990, he became widely recognized for playing one of Michonne's chained pet walkers on The Walking Dead. His chilling yet iconic role made him a fan favorite, adding depth to one of the show's most unforgettable characters. But Moses's talent didn't stop there. He also appeared in HBO's Watchmen, The Hunger Games: Catching Fire, and numerous independent projects, steadily building his career in Hollywood. Those who worked with him often spoke of his warmth, infectious smile, and the positivity he brought to every set. He seemed destined for bigger opportunities, with the charisma and dedication to carve out a long-lasting acting career. Sadly, in January 2022, his family reported him missing after several days of silence. Soon after, he was found in his car with a fatal gunshot wound. Authorities later ruled his death as self-inflicted. He was only 31 years old. How many hidden struggles do you think go unnoticed even among people who appear outwardly full of joy? His passing was a painful reminder of the importance of mental health awareness, particularly in the entertainment industry, where appearances often mask deeper battles. Fans and colleagues honored his memory with heartfelt tributes, recalling not only his talent, but also his kindness. Though his career was still unfolding, Moses J. Mosley left behind a legacy of dedication, resilience, and the unforgettable image of a walker who helped define a television era. Christophe St. John. Christophe St. John was more than just a soap opera star. He was a fixture in American television for nearly 3 decades. Born in New York City in 1966, Christophe started acting at a young age, appearing in commercials and TV shows, before landing his breakout role as Neil Winters on The Young and the Restless in 1991. For 28 years, audiences invited him into their homes daily, watching him navigate love loss and family drama. His portrayal earned him 10 NAACP Image Awards and multiple Daytime Emmy nominations, solidifying his place as one of daytime TV's most beloved figures. But behind the fame was a man burdened by unimaginable grief. In 2014, his 24-year-old son, Julian, died by suicide after a long battle with mental illness. Christophe was open about his heartbreak, admitting he struggled to recover from the loss. His vulnerability resonated with fans who saw him as not just an actor, but a father coping with deep pain. In February 2019, Christophe himself was found dead at 52. The cause was heart disease complicated by alcohol use, with many believing he truly died of a broken heart. Do you think Hollywood provides enough emotional support for actors dealing with personal tragedy? The cast of The Young and the Restless honored him in an emotional tribute episode, and fans across the world mourned the man who had become part of their daily routines. Christophe St. John's legacy lies not only in his performances, but in his openness about grief, mental health, and the importance of family. Jason Reyes. Jason Reyes was a performer whose voice and presence could electrify an audience. Born Jason Reyes Rothenberg in 1975 in Oneonta, New York, he found his calling in the theater. At just 21, he was cast as the original Simba in the Broadway production of The Lion King, a role that would make him a household name among theatergoers. His powerful singing, commanding stage presence, and emotional delivery turned Simba into a Broadway legend, earning him rave reviews and cementing his reputation as a star. He later voiced Kovu in Disney's The Lion King 2: Simba's Pride, 1998, winning over fans with a character who quickly became iconic in his own right. Beyond performing, Jason was deeply committed to causes larger than himself. In 1999, he was named a Goodwill Ambassador for the United Nations Environment Program, advocating for global awareness of environmental issues. His career seemed limitless, with forays into television, music, and philanthropy. Yet behind his public success, Jason was battling private struggles. In February 2004, he died by suicide in a barn in upstate New York at just 28 years old, shocking those who admired him. How often do we overlook the personal pain of artists who seem to have it all? Jason Reyes' death left an aching void in both the theater world and among his fans. Still, his legacy lives on every time The Lion King is performed and in the voices of young actors he inspired. He proved that artistry is not measured by years lived, but by the depth of impact made in a short time. Rajul Butler. Rajul Butler was best known for his athleticism on the basketball court, but his presence extended beyond sports into music, entertainment, and Hollywood. Born in Philadelphia in 1979, Butler made his mark in the NBA after being drafted by the Miami Heat in 2002. Over a career spanning more than a decade, he played for teams including the New Orleans Hornets, Los Angeles Clippers, Chicago Bulls, Toronto Raptors, Indiana Pacers, Washington Wizards, and the San Antonio Spurs. His versatility as a shooting guard, small forward, made him a reliable presence in the league. Fans admired his smooth playing style and his calm, stylish demeanor off the court. Yet Rajul's ambitions weren't confined to basketball. He had a passion for music and the arts, often making cameo appearances and dipping his toes into acting. Off the court, he shared a powerful partnership with singer Leah LaBelle, with the two forming a power couple admired for their shared creativity and grounded love. Tragically, on January 31, 2018, Rajul and Leah were killed in a car accident in Studio City, Los Angeles. Reports indicated he lost control of his Range Rover while speeding, and the crash was fatal. He was just 38, and Leah only 31. Isn't it heartbreaking how quickly life's brightest futures can vanish in an instant? The tragedy stunned both the NBA community and the entertainment world. Teammates, coaches, and fellow players posted tributes while musicians and fans of Leah grieved deeply. Rajul Butler is remembered not only for his contributions to basketball, but also for his drive to embrace life beyond the court, leaving behind an unfinished story of talent and potential. Yvette Wilson. Yvette Wilson was a comedian and actress who made audiences laugh with her sharp wit and down-to-earth humor. Born in Los Angeles in 1964, she began her career as a stand-up comic before transitioning into television. She first gained attention on Thea before securing her breakout role as Andel Wilkerson on the hit sitcom Moesha. Playing the witty, loyal, and wisecracking friend, Andel quickly became a fan favorite, and Yvette reprised the role in the spin-off The Parkers. Her comedic timing, paired with a warm and relatable energy, made her one of the most beloved figures in 1990s black television. Outside of sitcoms, Wilson also appeared in films such as House Party 3, 1994, and Poetic Justice, 1993, alongside Janet Jackson and Tupac Shakur. Despite her growing career, Yvette faced significant health struggles behind the scenes. She battled cervical cancer and kidney disease quietly, without much publicity. In June 2012, at only 48 years old, she passed away after complications from her illnesses. Fans were stunned, many learning of her health issues only after her death. Do you think the entertainment industry does enough to support stars fighting private battles while still working to make us laugh? Her co-stars, including Monique and Brandy, shared emotional tributes, remembering her kindness, her humor, and her ability to light up any set. Though her life was cut short, Yvette Wilson's legacy is preserved in the joy she brought to audiences and the representation she provided for women who looked, spoke, and lived like the communities she represented. Natalie Desselle Reid. Natalie Desselle-Reid was one of those actresses who could make any role unforgettable. Born in Alexandria, Louisiana in 1967, she broke into film in the mid-1990s and quickly carved out a space for herself as a beloved comedic talent. Her breakout came in the 1997 cult classic BAPS, where she starred opposite Halle Berry as Mickey, a fun-loving, sassy best friend who dreamed big. The role turned her into a household name for audiences who cherished her ability to bring warmth and laughter to the screen. She later appeared in films like How to Be a Player 1997 and Cinderella 1997, where she showcased her versatility beyond comedy. Television also became an important part of her career. Natalie starred in the UPN sitcom Eve from 2003 to 2006, playing Janie Egan's the witty and loyal best friend who added heart and humor to the series. She appeared in Tyler Perry's Medea's Big Happy Family 2011, proving once again she could light up any ensemble cast. What made Natalie stand out was not just her humor, but her authenticity. She wasn't the typical Hollywood image of beauty, yet she radiated confidence and showed that talent and heart were more powerful than stereotypes. Have you ever noticed how her characters made you feel like you knew her personally? In December 2020, Natalie passed away at just 53 after a private battle with colon cancer. The news shocked fans and colleagues alike. Halle Berry, Tyler Perry, and many others shared heartfelt tributes praising her kindness, generosity, and unmatched ability to make people laugh. Though her life was tragically cut short, Natalie's legacy continues to inspire actors who refuse to conform to industry molds. Christopher Big Black Boykin. Christopher Boykin, affectionately known as Big Black, became a household name as half of the hit MTV reality duo Rob and Big. Born in 1972 in Raleigh, Mississippi, he served in the U.S. Navy before working as a bodyguard. His life took an unexpected turn when he began appearing alongside professional skateboarder Rob Dyrdek on MTV. The show, which ran from 2006 to 2008, followed their unlikely friendship. Rob, the hyperactive skater, and Big Black, the calm, hilarious giant with a heart of gold. Fans loved watching their antics, from adopting mini horses to staging outrageous bets. Big Black's larger-than-life personality made him unforgettable. His catchphrase, "Let's do work," became iconic, reflecting his no-nonsense but fun-loving spirit. Beyond reality TV, Boykin also worked in fashion, launching his Do Work clothing line, and made occasional appearances in other MTV shows. However, behind the laughs, he struggled with serious health issues, particularly heart problems related to his weight. In May 2017, Christopher Boykin passed away from heart failure at just 45 years old. Fans and friends were devastated, as he had recently reconnected with Rob Dyrdek and hinted at new projects. Do you think reality TV ever truly prepared us for how real the losses of stars like Big Black would feel? To those who watched him, he was more than a reality personality. He was a symbol of friendship, laughter, and authenticity. His memory still lives on in clips, catchphrases, and the countless fans who remember him not just as a TV star, but as someone who brought genuine joy. Thomas Michael Ford. Thomas Michael Ford was a comedic force who became a staple of 1990s television. Born in Los Angeles in 1964, he pursued acting and theater before landing the role that defined his career, Thomas "Tommy" Strawn, on the hit sitcom Martin. Running from 1992 to 1997, the series showcased Ford as the cool, level-headed friend in Martin Lawrence's chaotic crew. His character's running gag, never revealing his job, became one of the show's most quoted jokes. Yet beyond comedy, Ford brought balance, charm, and wisdom to the cast, making him unforgettable to fans. After Martin ended, Ford didn't fade into the background. He appeared in shows like New York Undercover: The Parkers and even voiced characters in animated series. But his real passion extended off-screen. Ford was a motivational speaker, writer of children's books, and director of stage plays designed to uplift communities. He often visited schools to encourage young people, using his platform to inspire them toward better futures. Isn't it powerful when actors take their influence beyond the screen to positively impact lives? Tragedy struck in October 2016 when Thomas suffered a ruptured abdominal aneurysm. Despite being rushed to the hospital, he passed away at just 52 years old. His sudden death left fans heartbroken as many grew up watching him and felt like they had lost a family member. Martin Lawrence and Tisha Campbell led an outpouring of tributes, remembering him as a kind, humble man whose laughter was as big as his heart. Though gone too soon, Thomas Mickle Ford remains etched in television history as both a source of joy and a role model who used his fame for good. Tamara Dobson, before Wonder Woman. Before modern female superheroes graced the screen, there was Tamara Dobson, a striking, nearly 6-foot-tall model and actress who redefined black femininity in Hollywood. Born in Baltimore in 1947, Dobson began her career as a fashion model, gracing the covers of top magazines. But it was her transition to film that turned her into an icon. In 1973, she starred in Cleopatra Jones, playing a glamorous secret agent who could outfight, outshoot, and outwit her enemies while looking impeccable in high-fashion outfits. The film was a massive success, spawning a sequel and cementing her as one of the most powerful female action stars of the era. Dobson's Cleopatra Jones wasn't just a character, it was a cultural statement. At a time when Hollywood offered few roles for black women beyond stereotypes, she embodied independence, strength, and beauty, inspiring an entire generation. She also appeared in films like Chained Heat 1983 and Comeback Charleston Blue 1972, leaving her mark in both action and drama. Have you ever wondered how groundbreaking her influence was for today's female action heroes? Unfortunately, her career dimmed in the 1980s as Hollywood shifted away from blaxploitation films. Later in life, she faced health struggles including multiple sclerosis and pneumonia. On October 2, 2006, Tamara Dobson passed away at 59 in Baltimore. Her death went underreported compared to her enormous contributions, but fans and historians still recognize her as one of the first black women to headline an action franchise. Today, Tamara Dobson is remembered as a trailblazer who proved that a woman could be fierce, fashionable, and heroic all at once. Mia Amber Davis. Mia Amber Davis was a radiant presence who brought confidence and laughter to every room she entered. Born in 1974 in Atlanta, Georgia, she became a trailblazer as a plus-size model and actress during a time when mainstream entertainment rarely celebrated fuller figures. Her breakout moment came in the 2000 comedy Road Trip, where she stole the show in a hilarious and unforgettable scene opposite DJ Qualls. That performance made audiences laugh, but also challenged Hollywood's narrow definitions of beauty. Mia wasn't afraid to embrace who she was, and she encouraged countless women to feel comfortable in their own skin. Beyond acting, she walked the runway, appeared in magazines, and became an outspoken advocate for body positivity long before it became a global movement. She used her platform to remind people that beauty comes in all sizes and that confidence is the most attractive quality of all. Fans admired her boldness, her sass, and her refusal to be boxed in by stereotypes. Isn't it inspiring how one person's courage can ripple out and empower so many others? Tragically, Mia's life was cut short in May 2011 at just 36 years old. After undergoing routine knee surgery, she developed a blood clot that traveled to her lungs, causing a fatal pulmonary embolism. The suddenness of her death shocked fans and devastated the modeling and plus-size communities. Colleagues remembered her as a pioneer who made space for women who had never before seen themselves reflected positively on screen. Mia Amber Davis may have left too soon, but her impact remains, proving that authenticity and confidence can change an industry. Gary Coleman. Gary Coleman was once one of the most famous child actors in the world, adored for his role as Arnold Jackson on the sitcom Different Strokes, 1978 to 1986. Born in Zion, Illinois in 1968, Gary suffered from a rare congenital kidney condition that stunted his growth, leaving him at just 4'8" as an adult. Despite his health struggles, he lit up television screens with his comedic timing and charm. His catchphrase, "What you talking about, Willis" became one of the most iconic lines in TV history, turning him into a household name during the late 1970s and 80s. At the height of his fame, Gary earned millions, but mismanagement and legal battles with his parents and advisors left him financially drained. He tried to rebuild his career with small TV and film roles, even dabbling in politics, but Hollywood rarely embraced him as an adult actor. Meanwhile, he endured a lifetime of medical problems requiring frequent dialysis. Do you think the entertainment industry does enough to protect child stars from being exploited after their fame fades? In May 2010, Gary suffered a fall at his Utah home, resulting in a severe head injury. He passed away 2 days later at the age of 42. His death saddened generations who grew up watching him as fans felt they had lost a piece of their own childhood. Though his later years were marked by hardship, Gary Coleman's legacy as a groundbreaking black child actor remains untouchable. He showed that even in a small frame, his talent was larger than life. Suzanne Douglas. Suzanne Douglas was a gifted actress whose quiet strength and grace left a lasting impression on audiences. Born in Chicago in 1957, she built her career on both stage and screen, choosing roles that reflected depth, dignity, and authenticity. Many remember her best as Jerry Peterson, the nurturing mother on The Parenthood, 1995 to 1999. She brought warmth and realism to the role, making her feel like a mom viewers wished they had. But her talents reached far beyond sitcoms. Suzanne starred in acclaimed films like Jason's Lyric 1994, The Inkwell 1994, and How Stella Got Her Groove Back 1998, proving her ability to shift seamlessly from comedy to drama. In addition to acting, Suzanne had a strong background in theater, performing on Broadway and in numerous off-Broadway productions. She also pursued higher education, earning a master's in music from the Manhattan School of Music, highlighting her lifelong dedication to her craft. Off-screen, she was a mentor, a wife, and a mother remembered for her humility as much as her artistry. Have you ever noticed how some actors don't chase fame yet still shine so brightly in every role they take? In July 2021, Suzanne passed away at the age of 64 after a private battle with cancer. Her death stunned fans and colleagues, as few even knew she was ill. Tributes poured in from across the entertainment industry, with co-stars remembering her as a beacon of kindness and professionalism. Though she never sought the spotlight, Suzanne Douglas left behind a legacy of excellence, reminding us that sometimes the most powerful performances are delivered with quiet grace. Natalie Cole. Natalie Cole, the daughter of music legend Nat King. Cole carved out her own extraordinary path as both a singer and actress. Born in 1950 in Los Angeles, Natalie grew up surrounded by music, but worked tirelessly to establish her own voice. She broke through in the 1970s with hits like This Will Be an Everlasting Love, earning her first Grammy. While music was her foundation, Natalie also appeared in films and television, showcasing her versatility as an entertainer. One of her most memorable screen moments was starring in her own biopic, Livin' for Love, The Natalie Cole Story 2000, which openly detailed her struggles and triumphs. Her career was marked by both soaring highs and devastating lows. Natalie battled drug addiction in the 1980s, which damaged her health and nearly ended her career. Yet she staged a remarkable comeback in the 1990s with her album Unforgettable, with Love 1991, featuring a virtual duet with her late father. The project sold over 7 million copies in the US alone and earned her multiple Grammys, solidifying her legacy as one of the greats. Isn't it inspiring when an artist manages to turn personal pain into timeless art? Despite her success, her past health struggles eventually caught up with her. Natalie developed complications including hepatitis C and kidney failure, requiring a transplant in 2009. On December 31, 2015, she passed away from congestive heart failure at 65 years old. Her death left the music and film worlds mourning a woman who overcame adversity to create a body of work that continues to inspire. Natalie Cole's story is not just one of fame. but of resilience, redemption, and the enduring power of family legacy. In remembering these 21 Black actors who left us far too soon, we are reminded not only of their extraordinary talents, but also of the fragility of life itself. From Chadwick Boseman's quiet strength to Aaliyah's boundless promise, each story is both inspiring and heartbreaking. Their legacies continue to shape music, film, and culture even after their passing. But it also raises a difficult question: are we doing enough to protect and cherish the people behind the roles we celebrate? Share your thoughts below, because at Legends of Black Excellence, your voice helps keep their memory alive.